into it, guys. Let's talk about the 10 emails that you should be sending every single month. Now, 10 emails sounds like a lot. Right now, if you're listening to this, you might not be sending any emails at all, or you might be waiting for something, or you might be just, you feel like email is just not there. Let's kind of go through some of the myths about emails. First one up here is you're waiting for something important to happen. You talk about in the 500K SaaS launch kit, we talked about the 10 emails that you should send during your launch, and you send those within those first 10 days during your launch. And that to some people can intimidate them. And that can make people feel like this is a lot, this is too much. So I tell people to send these emails to grow your SaaS, these emails that you need to send every single month. So they kind of go back to that and say, okay, well, what about the launch emails? I want to wait for the launch emails and send those emails every other part of the year, the rest of the year, all 330 days of everything else. Send emails maybe once a month, maybe not at all. But waiting for something important, that is a complete myth. You should scratch that from your mind here. The next one is sending too many emails will cause unsubscribe. We had this week. I was at an Austin mastermind. We were helping some entrepreneurs. We helped 13 entrepreneurs launch their products. We did it all in 2 days. And one of these questions came up was the directive that somebody gave was you should send an email every single day. And I believe that, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Question from that, or the pushback from that was, well, sending too many emails, isn't that going to cause people to unsubscribe? Isn't that going to make people angry? Aren't emails going to go into the spam folder? Third one, no, they're not going to go into the spam folder. If you're sending good, decent stuff that isn't scammy, that doesn't have all caps, air horns blasting, trying to act and look like you're some kind of like payday loan scam, you're going to be fine. Sending too many emails and pissing people off and getting them to unsubscribe is part of the game. And I won't say like it's part of the game like you are here to piss people off, but if the people that aren't on your list, the people that are on your list are there for a reason. You have to keep telling yourself, everyone here is a consenting adult. We're all here. We all have free will. We can all make a choice. We can all say, hey, I don't want to be a part of this list and unsubscribe. Not your obligation, and it's not for you to worry about those people. People that you should be worried about on your list are the people that are going to become your clients. That's what you want to pay attention to. The people that are going to become your paying customers every single month, month over month, year over year. That's who you should be paying attention to. Everybody else don't really need to worry about. Or if somebody complains and then they unsubscribe, they weren't going to be your customer in the first place at all. So you shouldn't worry about those folks. Sending too many emails will cause unsubscribes. Wouldn't worry about that. It's to say like, hey, I have 100 people on my list. I have 1,000 people on my list. And what happens if I send too many emails and all of a sudden they just 750 people unsubscribe and I have my list is destroyed? That won't happen. Every time you send an email, someone's going to unsubscribe. You shouldn't worry about that. I look at it like, yes, great, good. Less people on my list that don't want this, or less people are, or people are not on my list that are going to buy my services. If they're not going to be customers, fine. I don't need to be talking to you. That's fine. It's cool. Hey, it's all like, you don't need to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You don't need to be a part of the world. It's okay. If you want to hang out, you want to be back on the list, you want to be back in the world, back in. But if you don't, it's fine. Don't worry about this. Many people unsubscribing. Talked about this, waiting for something important to happen. Just send an email every single day. The one I hear a lot is you need a huge list. And it's kind of like same with social media. I think like social media has kind of spilled over into this stuff. Say that you need a huge list before you can start to send emails, before you can start to some kind of like, well, I can't really get into email marketing, or I really shouldn't start my email marketing automations or start any of this stuff until I have 100 people, or until I have 200 people, or 1,000 people, or 10,000 people. I'm going to wait a little bit. I'll build up my following, get people on social media. You should be capturing emails at every single chance that you should get. You should have emails, new subscribers coming into the door every single day. Whether or not they become customers, that's a different story, but you should be bringing people into your world to learn more about what you have to offer. When those people come in the door, you need to be emailing them as many times as possible, getting them to know about you, about your offer, to get around and say, hey, I can't send these emails until I have a big list, or what's the point? If I'm just going to email 10 people, if I'm just going to email 100 people, what's the point? It only gets read by 20 of these people. What does that matter? That's 20 people. If 20 people were in your room right now and they all had their hand held out and you were about to hand them the emails. Let's say you printed out the emails and you were going to hand it to them personally, and you handed it out to 20 people, you'd feel a lot different. It wouldn't just be well, 20 people only read it. Ooh, this sucks. Don't need a huge list. Send it. If you got 100 people, if you got 5 people, send the emails. Next thing is beautiful design. This is another myth and the nice part about a lot of email marketing tools is that can already make beautiful designs. You don't have to know coding. You don't have to go onto Canva and learn how to make a beautiful footer. And what we see a lot of times, especially in the bigger like 100,000 million list people, like those huge lists, that a lot of those guys are doing less designs and they're doing just plain text. They're not even doing headings or bold or italics. They're doing like the most simple plain text, just basic as possible. So you don't need beautiful design. And sometimes beautiful design can get in the way a little bit or can slow down your load speeds. So don't worry about it. And go on to, if you're on ConvertKit, if you're on Beehive, if you're whatever email marketing software that you end up choosing, just choose one of their templates. So like, hey, this looks pretty good. Just roll with it. Don't worry about it. Don't get caught up. Complex automations. Idea that I'm not going to, well, I'll do email marketing, but since I have to set up all these crazy automations that someone joins the list, I got to send them into this sequence and then tag them with this and do all that stuff. That is all good. Well, that's all fun to do, but having a complex automation should not get in the way of you. You really just need to be doing is every single day, log into that email marketing software, new draft, new broadcast, whatever it may be, start writing your email, get it, proofread it, edit it, send it out. That's it. And then see you tomorrow. Or if you got some more energy in you, do another one. Write a second email, schedule it for tomorrow. Write a third one, email, schedule it for 2 days from now. So, and do it all over again. That's as far as an automation that you need to have when it comes to your SaaS company. You don't need to have these like, okay, once they start a free trial, then we'll send them to this sequence. All that stuff can be built later. All that stuff can be built down the road. You test that stuff out. You could hire somebody to build that out. You could hire somebody to write all that. Don't worry right now to say, won't send emails until I have all these complex automations. So we're going to scratch that out of the way. And the last one is people don't read emails, which is flat out wrong. People read their emails. The most money for my company, most money for your company, most money for thousands of other online businesses, the fattest percentage, the biggest pie slice on pie chart of revenue comes from email. It doesn't come from Facebook. It doesn't come from TikTok. It doesn't come from YouTube sales. It doesn't come from person. It comes from emails. That's how you're going to make your money. You're going to find somebody, bring them from YouTube, bring them onto your email list, convert them into a customer, and it happens there in that email. That is where it's going to happen. If you're watching this right now and you're still on the fence about maybe, I don't know if I should start emailing people or should have an email list or start building an email list, or you just don't know where to start, or you just don't think that email's right for you, just know that 80% of your revenue is over there sitting there waiting in people's inboxes, and you are just sitting here staring at a blank page, not sending emails, doing nothing. So fact that this myth here that people don't read emails, you're watching this right now, read emails because you got this email to then watch this video. So people don't read emails. That's a myth. So we got all those myths knocked out. We're going to go through all 10 of the emails that we're going to talk about. Now let's go over and talk about some of the dangers a little bit, not sending an email. If you don't send an email, I'm going to say to you, send an email at least 5 times a week. Saturday, Sunday, sure, send it. If you can, send it as many times as possible. The best way to say it is, days should I send my emails are the days that you want to get paid. That's the line that I heard this weekend. Stuck with me. That it's like, that's the simplest way to put it. Like, if you want to get paid, go send an email. That's what you should be doing. This one is, churn's going to be higher. If you don't send an email, if you're a software company that is not sending emails or holding off, your churn's going to be higher. Now, your churn's going to be higher because people are less likely to renew their subscription. They don't hear from you. Now, these two are kind of connected here. Like, let's say churn will be higher, let's say in a trial, if you are not having some kind of email sequence set up or you're not emailing people that then start a trial, it's a big miss. So when someone starts a free trial, you should have some emails or should dump them onto your email list where you're emailing people every single day. They feel like they're not hearing from you or they feel like they're not really getting much interaction from your company. They bought the software, they downloaded your trial, they haven't really heard from you. It's almost like, they're like kind of like walking around like the empty store and like looking for the manager, like, hello, hello. Like that's, customers won't tell you that they're doing that, or they won't tell you that they feel that way. But when you don't send an email or out the door telling them how to use the software, or congratulating them or making them feel like they made the right decision to buy your software via email, if you're not sending all that via email, then they just kind of feel like, I guess they don't really care because they don't really like me. It's like you're sitting at your table at the restaurant, you're waiting for the waiter to come by. You're like, I'm here, I'm interested, I would like your food. There's no waiter. That's the same feeling when you're not sending your emails. So churn's going to be higher and people are less likely to renew. This is the kind of the second side of it. Less likely to renew because if you are not top of mind, if you are not constantly in their inbox, if you're not constantly showing up in the conversation, grabbing their attention, giving them something valuable, and it comes time to renew, or when that billing Stripe notification comes up that says, hey, you're about to get a bill in 7 days for $399, you go, huh? What is that company again? Oh yeah, that software that I don't use anymore? Oh, I should probably cancel that. But if it's someone that has been in the conversation with you, you have a personal relationship, you feel like the founder of the company, of the software that you're using, is talking to you every single day, it's pretty powerful. And that's going to make you, not a guarantee that it's going to make so that you do renew. I mean, that's all going to depend on your product, but it's going to make them pause a little bit, be like, I actually like these emails that this founder sends out, or I like kind of being in the loop, being a part of this community. So maybe I won't renew. Maybe I will, or maybe I will renew. Maybe I will keep going, keep using this software. So it's likely to renew. Other danger is this right here. And maybe you're not driven by competitors. Maybe you don't feel like you have competitors. Personally, that's not how I operate, or that's not where I drive. That's where I don't get my fuel from that. But like, hey, yeah, fuck my competitors. But maybe you do. Maybe, and you're out there and you are getting your ass kicked by competitors every single day, or there's always a copycat coder out there trying to steal your great idea for your software. Those people out there, when they send out emails, are stealing your attention. Because imagine you opening your own inbox. Imagine you sitting down in the morning, your coffee, and you open your inbox on your phone and you're scrolling through emails. How much time is that? That's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, sometime per day. Your competitors are in their inbox. They are reading those emails. They are going through those emails. And then another competitor comes in, they're going to read those emails. And why aren't you in that conversation? Why aren't you sending those emails? And why isn't your customer spending their morning reading your emails? Why are they reading your competitors' emails? I would ask you. So just the danger, not sending an email. The other one is emailing regularly forces you to rely on paid ads content. It's great. Paid ads work. YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all the content platforms work. It's a lot of work though. It's a lot of content hamster wheel that we've called it before, where you're always having to kind of start from scratch, go back out there, swing again. Paid ads, if you don't have your paid ads dialed in, or if you don't have the right funnel built out, paid ads can feel very shaky. It can feel like gambling. By not emailing at a chain is that way to make that revenue, that you have to rely on these other two platforms, the paid ads and content, to bring in those customers to support the life of your business, to get some kind of revenue. But if you have people coming into your email list, you have people coming in that door, you have personal direct access to these people, you're able to talk about you, your problems, your company, and sell them on the idea that they should have this software and they should download it as soon as possible. That is way more powerful, and that is a much more direct line to you and your customer and to their pocketbook, getting them to become a paying customer. The line from you to your customer, and put paid ads in between that, a complicated funnel. No matter how simple you make your paid ads funnel, it's a complicated funnel. It's a complicated maze that you're going to put your customers through. With content, to draw a straight line between you and your customer to get their money from their pocket into your pocket via YouTube or via Twitter or TikTok, it's a very complicated map. It takes a long time. But to say, I want to go make some money today, I'm going to go make a sale today, but to email this person, and this person's going to give me money, put it in my pocket, and I'm going to give them software. It's a much more straight and direct line. Email. The thing is, right, I talked about this earlier with holding back your emails, not really want to I want to save it. I want to save sending my email blast for something big, something important. Only when we have a big update, a 2.0 or 1.1 or 1.2. Really, that's the only time I really want to update people. I don't want to be this guy that's always, emailing people. Regular sending equals irregular income. If you are someone who is not constantly in someone's inbox, then your Stripe dashboard is going to look like this. It's going to look like, hey, look, we had a great week. And now we're back to 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, and then you go, okay, I'll send some more emails, and you send some more emails, and you get revenue, and then you're like, oh, I'm tired of emails. I don't want to spam people, and then you go back to 0. So just get in the habit of sending emails. Get in the habit of writing an email every single day and sending it to your customers. I think that just about does it. Oh, go, come on, every single week. This is the danger, and this is what you need to pay attention to. Man, it's a thick marker. Every week is a chance to make a sale. And we're circling around this. We're talking about it right now. Every single week is a chance to make a sale, or a second sale, or a third sale. Because the people that you email, your prospects, your leads, people who are not customers, but on that list too are your customers. And now you have another chance to go and sell them something else. Go and sell them something new. That is the beauty of it. That's what so much about emails is that I were to try to find my own customers or my own clients and tell them about a new product or a new thing that's coming out and put it on YouTube or social media or run it through paid ads. Again, that connection, that point from point A to point B is very, very complicated. I just want to send an email and say, hey, we got something new, something brand new that I think our this client segment would like. It's a great way to get another sale. We're going to make a third sale or a second sale. All right, where are we at? Where are we at with time? Now, let's go to best practices. You understand the myths, you understand the dangers. Now let's actually talk about, as we get into email. Maybe at this point I've convinced you that, okay, fine, Jordan, I'll give email a shot. Let's check it out. First one, make our a little bit appropriate. There we go. An email every single day. Sounds difficult. I'm going to show you how simple it is. It's not difficult at all. You can send an email every single day. An email does not have to be essay. An email does not have to be this crazy big update. It does not have to be this work of literary art. It just has to be a quick message from you sent out to your customers. The bar that you have to clear, don't waste their time. Get interesting, don't waste their time. That's the bar that you have to clear. Here, 50 to 300 words. Now, I've written emails that were 1,000 words. I've written emails that were 2,000 words, and I probably shouldn't have sent those emails. And I've sent some very quick emails. You can send some emails that are just 5 to 10 words. That's, you've got a new YouTube video out, and it could just be, if this is your email, it's just line, go by, hey, watch the video, and then put a little YouTube thing. That's it. It's your, cheers, Jordan. And you've gotten some of those emails from me where I don't really have much to say, except the only thing I want you to really do is go watch this video right here. That's all I want you to do. Keep it simple like that. So 50 to 300 words, enough to explain a concept if you have a concept that you're trying to talk about. You're going to talk about what you should be doing with your emails. Your emails aren't the place that people are going to be hanging out, really reading and digesting all your information. So that's why I say 50 to 300 words, because 300 words, that's about a 2-minute, 3-minute read for most folks, which is enough time to hold their attention, get them to do something very specific, which brings us to this. One email, one call to action. I don't mean that you're only allowed to have one link in your email. You can have multiple links. You can have as many links as you want in your email. The one goal that you should be focusing on is the one call to action. You should have, out of everything that they click on, what is the one thing that you want them to really focus on? So if I were to send that email where it is the, hey guys, I have a new video to watch, it's not really about all the links down below in the footer to say, hey, we got this, we have this product and this product. It really is about the only one thing that I want them to focus on is watching that YouTube video. That's what you should focus on. One email, one call to action. You can have multiple links, but you're going to, in the body of the email, you can put the same link in multiple places, and I recommend that you do that. You should do a link, you should do a button, you should do words replaced as a link, you know what I mean? Where it's like you take the words and you Command K and say, turn this into a hyperlink. That all of those links and buttons should lead to one place. You don't really want to spread people out or get people all over the place doing too many things. You want them really focused on just one single action. End every email with a PS A PS is a great way to add a second link, to add some kind of complimentary offer that you're talking about in your email. PS is why people don't put PSs in their email. PS is probably the most, the subject line. Your PS line is probably your most read thing on your email, because people want to know. Like, they've read through the whole thing and they're like, wait, well, there's one more little thing that I got to read. PS, what else do I need to know? That can be a very nice, lucrative way too. But if you have one main call to action, for example, like if, say, we had a live event that we were talking about here. So, I'll draw out my email here. So, hey, what's up, guys? It's Jordan. How's it going? And we have this event, and I'll put the event, like the event is like the button here. This is the event that we have here. We are going live. We're live right here. Blah, blah, blah. This is what the event is, date and time, cheers, Jordan. And then right down here, you could put PS. So for example, for this one, you'd be like, live, we are live, watch the live, Jordan talking about the 10 emails that you need to grow your SaaS. Oh, by the way, you want the AI prompt, you just click down here and get the AI prompt for $25, click it, and that's the PS. Like, that would be how you get someone to just add a little bit of a complimentary offer. Again, the main focus is this one CTA up here, but if people down here find something else more interesting, or they want to actually check this out, it's a win for you. But it's not distracting. It's not trying to overtake what the actual main call to action is from your email. PS, call to action, just right here. And this next thing, I wrote at first, talk personally, or talk to one person, or talk to one-on-one, or talk to someone like you're talking at a coffee shop. It doesn't quite do it justice. And it either does like talk intimately do, but it really should be like you're just scratching this journal off, like this on like a sticky notepad real quick. You're just scratching this off and like, hey, what's up, man? What's going on? Like a quick text to somebody, and you're just like, you get your little and you're like, hey, what's going on, man? Hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. And anyway, thinking of you. Cheers, Jordan. And send it out. It's like, that's the tone that you need to strike with your emails. It should not be this big, odd, structured, corporate, welcome to our email. It should be like, I've only got like 20 seconds, and I know you only got 20 seconds, but real quick, I just want to tell you something. Just give me a second. Like, okay, this is what I want to talk about. This is what we're doing. Well, cheers, Jordan. Like, that's the tone that you need to strike. Talk intimately. Is this one right here, which I love, is constantly test subject lines. I'll go over here. There's one, it's called go to first 1,000. It's on Substack. They talk about the first 1,000 customers, Substack, and they made this chart. Like, they sent out a newsletter. I can't remember how many times they sent the newsletter out, but I think it's like 2 years of data that they collected. They sent all different kinds of subject lines, all different kinds of, like, they added emojis, different times and dates. So if you go right here, their open rates right here. This first column is open rates. The second column is subscriber growth. So let's really focus on the open rates. With the subject line, which I found this the most interesting, and I myself am even like a little too scared to test this out. Their highest open rate was a one-word subject line, which seems crazy. Where I think emails would be like Stripe or on, just one word, enough to get people to open, which I thought is absolutely wild. So then they had 2 words, which were not as good, but a little bit better. This is very scientific with the emojis. The other one here, subject line here, direct, way more than cute. I would agree with that. Be clear, don't be clever. Don't just try to, however long your subject line is, and I would try to keep your subject line under 50 characters. You should constantly be testing it. Like, okay, what happens if I send a 1-word email? What happens if I send a 2-word email, or a 3-word email, or a 4-word, or a 6-word email subject line? What happens when I send that out? And just study that data, study those analytics, see what people do. Okay, this time I talked in a more direct way. It was very boring and straight. How to grow your email list for your SaaS. Very simple, straightforward. Next time, test out cute, or like being cute, or being mysterious, or being a little like piquing intrigue. Test it out. So you should constantly be testing your subject lines. This one is talk like your customers. Don't try to impress anyone. Whenever I'm running a ChatGPT prompt, and I'm saying like, okay, hey, here's what I want to talk about in this email. Here's all the information. Use buzzwords. Use simple language. That's what I always tell ChatGPT. And I wrote this down here. Does your doctor try to impress you? You go to the doctor and they've been to school for 10, 20 years. They've been in the field for 10 to 20 years. They try to show how cool they are when they're in the room with you. Do they try to show like how much they know, or like show all their knowledge to you, or they can name this specific bone here and this tendon here, and they know what this particular mechanism is called? Do they try to do that to you, or they just try to get you and just level with you and talk straight to you? Talk straight to you. They just give you the normal, straightforward information. You don't really have to show that they know everything or have to puff out their chest. When emails, a lot of people will try to like show how much they know, or show how much that, oh, hey, I'm this expert. I'm the big expert. I'm the founder. I created this company. I have $10 billion of sales so far. Look at me. It's people don't care. People don't care. They just want to know, hey, this person talks like me. Cool. Using words that I understand. Cool. Great. They're not trying to like use words that go over my head to try to confuse me on purpose. Cool. Great. Yeah, this person isn't trying to impress me. They're just like helping solve my problem. The same with the doctor. Doctor's not trying to show how cool he is with his doctor skills. He's just trying to solve my problem. That's what you should be doing in your emails. Just be cool. Talk like your customers. Don't try to impress them. It's scannable. This you can take a lesson from. If you are not a fan already of Ship30, go to Ship30, go take their course, learn everything there is about writing and writing online. This is one of the biggest takeaways from Ship30, is to make it scannable. Walls of text will kill your readership and will kill your viewers' attention. Yes, you might get open rates. People might open because they know that's a cool subject line, but people will not read it. They will not read what you have to say, and that means they will not get down to the links that they need to click to then buy your software. Make it scannable. Make it up. Sentence paragraphs. Use headings if you can. Use bullet points. Use numbered lists. Just shorter sentences. Imagine you had to read this out loud, or imagine you had to like plug this into a teleprompter, and you have a 27-word sentence that spans all the way across the entire page. That's a mouthful. That's hard to read, and people or they're on their phone most of the time. 90% of the time, they're reading your email on their phone. So you have to make it quick. You have to make it quick to scan, and then kind of give people, just give them like a win. Like, hey man, this is an easy thing to read. I'm flying through this email. It's weird to think like that, but people kind of get like a little lift from like, hey man, look how quickly I'm reading. I'm reading this whole email pretty quickly. Nice. That's it. So that is what to do. The two people, or the three people, I guess, you should check out is kind of based the prompt on that you can get it's in the link down below. Bill Medora, he created a copywriting course. I don't know how to say his name, but he has awesome tone. He has like the way he approaches emails, absolutely killer. And then the other two, Nicholas Cole and Dickie Bush of Ship30, have cornered the market on online digital writing. So if you just want to get in the habit or want to learn how to write an atomic essay, which is a very easily transferable thing over into the email world, that's the avenue that I would go check out. Or even when you're making your ChatGPT prompts, you can inject, say, hey, in the style of Medora, or in the style of Nicholas Cole, or in the style of Dickie Bush, or in the style of Ship30. That's going to get you a great start, because these guys, they are great copywriters, but they also write for clarity. They write for just what I'm seeing. I know what I'm reading. It makes sense. That's how you get people to slide down your email into that call to action, into that button. That's what you want. You want people, yes, we want people to read what we wrote. We really want people to click buttons. We really want people to click the links. That's what to do. Get into now these 10 emails that we should be writing. I wanted to make sure that we covered all the grounds. Like, gotten rid of all the baggage. We've gotten rid of all of the, showing you the dangers, not sending an email every day. And again, guys, if you want to get the AI prompt for this for all 10 emails, we've got it right here, ready to go. Click the link down below and you can have it yourself. You can follow along. You can watch this video, learn how to make these emails at once. Go into these 10 emails one by one, and then we'll wrap up the show. First email that you should be sending, you should be sending all of these emails cycle every single month. Now, they can be the same email. It might be fine, and I would even bet that most people won't remember the email that you sent, the same exact email that you sent last month about the same exact subject in the same file. I would try to write at least a new version, or at least 2 or 3 new versions, and then put that into a big 90-day cycle. But my requirement for you to send these emails every single month if you want to grow your SaaS, if you want to turn your viewers and your readers and people on your list into your paid customers. And the first thing is a plain pitch. You can come as people enter your list or come onto your list, but a plain pitch email is something that is just straightforward. It is. Here's the link. If you're looking to get this software, if you're looking to download this, or if you're looking to get this plan or this plan, here's our pricing page. Here's the checkout. Enjoy. It's a plain, simple. You tell them a little bit about what you do. Don't introduce yourself, the co-founder, or try to start this big relationship. Just, hey, you're on this list. I saw you're on this list. Sorry, you're interested in what we have to offer. Here's what we have to offer. Here, the pricing page. Go to the checkout page. Plain as can be. Very simple, plain pitch. Next email that I would work into, and the next 3 emails that we're going to talk about are all connected and need to be sent in this proper order. But every other email that we're going to talk about can be sent in the order that you want. The next email, and we've talked about this in other episodes, is the problem email. This is part of the PAS email sequence. Problem email goes into the main, biggest, fattest, nastiest problem your customer is facing right now. And you talk about it, you dive into it, you spell it out, you make it visual for them. Do this all within 50 to 300 words. Just getting your customers aware and getting you and your customers on the same level to say, hey, I got you. I understand you. I speak like you. I know the problems that are going on in your head right now, the problems that you might even be afraid to admit that you have. We're going to talk about it. We're going to dive into it. On the next email, I want to show you exactly what happens if these problems don't get solved. That's your one call to action, and that could be even part of your PS. That's where you connect people to date email. So these are connected. So this is the A letter part of the problem at PAS framework. Date is we're going to pull from the first story, pull from that problem email and say, hey, in that last email, we talked about this. We talked about the problems that are happening all the time. We see this all the time. This is one of our customers' biggest problems. If you're reading this right now, you might be having this problem too. We talk a little bit about what happens you don't solve this problem. And then that's where you kind of go down with agitate. That's where you go down a dark road and sell out visually what happens to your customers if they don't get this problem solved. If they put off solving this, the classic one is, hey, you got 10 pounds on your waist right now that you want to lose. Well, it's taking you a year, it's taking you 10 years to gain that weight. And if you want to put this off another 10 years, that's another 10 pounds or another 20 pounds on your waistline. If you don't solve this now you only have to lose 10 pounds. But if you push this problem off, soon you'll have to lose 20 pounds or 30 pounds or 50 pounds. And it'll be even harder to solve the problem because now it all pile up. So I'm telling you right now, this is the problem that needs to be solved. What you're doing is like you're fighting against the status quo. You're showing your customers what happens if they don't solve this problem. So that adds a little bit of urgency to it and makes it seem like, okay, wow, this is a problem. I didn't think of it like that, like a problem. You're bringing it into their awareness, and now you're kind of adding a little bit of like, you twist the knife. You're like, okay, okay, I do. All right, fine. You got me. I do need to solve this. And that's where you do a little lead in, or a PS could be like, and on the next email, I think we've solved this problem. I want you to check your inbox tomorrow because I'm going to send it to you. We'll talk about it. So make sure you open it up. And that's when you send them to the third email in this PAS sequence, which is now our 4th email that we're talking about here, is your solution email. Solution email is not quite the plain pitch email. It is talking about how you came to this solution, how you solved this problem with your software. Talk about just in general how that problem that you talked about in PAS, in the PA part, talk about how this problem has been solved in the past. Now you talk about how it's going to be solved right now, today, by you and your company. It's the solution that you present. You say, hey, we think we've cracked this code. The thing that you were worried about in these last 2 emails, the thing that we talked about that if you don't solve it's going to be a big mess to clean up. We think we've solved this problem, and this is how we do it. This is the approach that we take. And if you're interested in solving this problem today, here's the link to buy our product. Here's the link to get started now, get started with a trial, grab plan, blah, blah, blah. and get started today. So these 3 emails are connected: problem, update, and solution. So these have to be sent in a very specific order to set people up. And we've talked about this in the 500K SaaS launch kit this is also a part of your launch sequence too. But these should be sent every single month. So these 3 in order. Now let's move on to the 5th email, 3 hidden features. And I got this from email that I found was from Gamma, the slide decks. So gamma.app, I think they're called just Gamma Slides. Send out these great emails. You sign up for their product about twice a week. They do this about twice a week, and I would actually encourage you to do these more. But send these hidden features. Hey, did you know that Gamma apps can do this? Or did you know that you can make this? It's kind of like, did you know? And that's like a nice lead in for people. They are new customers, or they're thinking about your product, or they're kind of vaguely familiar with your product. And you, on the other end, have built the damn thing. You know exactly how all the bells and whistles work. It's on you to share those things. There are so many small little hidden idiosyncrasies, tiny little features that don't seem to be very big or very important to you or to the mass market, but they could be something that could turn the tide for somebody if they were to hear that. Like, hey, did you know that we also do XYZ? You know, these are features that aren't going to be on your billboard. These aren't going to be your top 4 features, but I would include 3 hidden features in an email to say, hey, did you know that we can do this? Did you know that we can do this? And did you know that we can do this? It is 3 little tiny hidden features that, again, you don't have to blow the roof off and be like, look how badass we are. It could be small, could be subtle, it could be something that starts a conversation where they reply directly to this email and go, wow, I didn't know that you guys could do this. We've been using this other app for so long, and I didn't know that you also have this setting in your app already. That's great. And then they might ask, do you also do this? Or can it also do this? And that's how you start the conversation with your potential customers. And then that's how you bring them into the fold and bring them into becoming an actual paying customer. Or a current customer sees this and they go, hey, I didn't know that it could do all these 3 features. What else can it do? Or, hey, have you guys ever thought about adding this? And now you've got your feedback and you're getting more people to tell you what they want for your app. It's data that you're going to go back and say, hey guys, let's go build this thing because we've got a lot of people asking about this. And now you've created a product that people actually want, or people have been actually directly asking you for. And you can then go back to those people in an email and say, hey, we built this app, we built this new feature, available now. We want to put you on the waiting list because you asked for this, or we want to put you at the top of the list to get early access to it. How does that sound? Sound good? Here's the link. Buy now. That's 3 hidden features. This email is called The Tale of Two Brothers, and I took this from Nicholas Cole's email sequence. I forget what he calls it. I think it's like friends at a coffee shop, maybe. But what it is, it's a split path that you visualize for readers. So you talk about, I wrote The Tale of Two Brothers. These 2 brothers, they're twin brothers. They go down the road. They have gone through their life, and they meet back for coffee, talk about their experiences, and say, well, we kind of both started this. We both had a college education. We both went to the same college. We lived in the same town. We got the same job in 2 different cities. Look at us. And then they go, okay, how did your life end up when you did this? And then the other one would say, well, how did your life end up when you did this? And that's where you kind of diverge the stories. The stories are going to be around your product. So people that did solve your problem or the problem that you're focused on with your company, then you talk about people that didn't solve their problem. So it could be, going back to an easy one, it's like talking about the weight loss or like fitness, like people that the 2 brothers that come like, hey, this is Joe and this is Jim. Joe did this. Joe was the one who had this problem, and Jim also had this problem. And Joe was able to solve the problem by doing X, Y, Z. Joe did this, and Joe was able to see a bunch of success. Jim, on the other hand, kept going. This is like you're smashing PAS and putting it together. She's been like, Jim, on the other hand, he didn't solve his problem. And in fact, he kept spinning his wheels and procrastinating and thinking about what he could be doing next. And he never really made action or took action to solve his problem. Now, Jim feels like he's 5 years behind. He feels like he's never going to get ahead. He's always like living paycheck to paycheck. While Joe, on the other hand, is living a life of lavish and doing XYZ and having all this great success. Because the one determining factor, the one thing that split these 2 men from their story is they solved the problem, or was this solution, and the solution is your app. You're like selling your app through this kind of story. So it's nice storytelling, and it could be made up. It could be an actual story that you have, but just kind of building a contrast. You're building these mirror stories of like, hey, if you use our app and you use our software, this is what your life could look like. And if you don't use our software and don't try to solve your problem, this is how horrible your life will look like. Make it realistic. Don't be hyperbolic with all this stuff, but that's a nice way to like a little compare contrast. Tale of two brothers. Next, email. This is pretty simple, straightforward, and not a lot of startup companies are doing it, and damn it, they need to be doing it. Live events. Your emails that you should be sending is some kind of monthly live event. Could be a live event like this, like kind of a webinar that we're doing here. Could be some kind of education. Could be a Q&A session. You guys need to have some kind of live event scheduled every single month. And one of your emails that should be going out, and it shouldn't just be one, it should be probably 3 or 4 if you're doing a weekly a weekly event, you should have a weekly email cadence, drive people to those live events. If you just have one monthly event, maybe that's all, personally that you can handle, or before you have some kind of anxiety attack. Have one live event, one live webinar. That is a great excuse to get inside of someone's inbox and say, hey, do you know we've got some live event? It's going to be on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. You got to register, you got to RSVP, and the next one you can send, hey, the event starts in 24 hours. Make sure you RSVP. Here's the link. Click down below. Should be in people's inbox to push them towards a live event. Cool. So what's nice about a live event, it feels real. It feels happening. It feels like it's outside of an automated sequence. It feels like it's not just email robo blast. It feels like this is actually happening. This is real. And that's how you can kind of build this feeling that it's you and the founder, talking directly to your customers. So what's nice about the live event. So the live event on your schedule, then write the emails to send people to that live event. Go register. Next one. One might not make sense to a lot of the coders out there, to a lot of the software developers out there. I would be offering free consultation call to all of my customers. Every single month, I would be sending out this email to say, hey, you want help with the app that you just bought? Here, we want to help you. We want to help you through how to use it. We want to talk and help you walk through how to get the most out of it. The founder, and we're going to sit down in office hours, or you can book an hour with me personally, a consultation call, and where we talk about your problems, your state of the world, and how we can use this app to help solve that problem. That is pretty powerful. That's pretty real. You can charge for it. I don't know. I don't care. You can make it free. Make it at lower the barrier. But what's nice about it is, again, you're adding that personal touch. This is how you get your customer feedback. This is how you find your customer superstars. This is how you get your customer testimonials from a consultation call. So every single month, you should be emailing 3 or 4 times about, hey, did you know that you can book personal time? Or, hey, I'm the CEO of the company. Here's my email. And if you want to book a personal 30-minute session, hour-long session with me to talk about how to use this app, or I'll show you how to get the most out of this app, right here. It's free. Here's my Calendly link. Like, that is super, super powerful. And we're moving right along. Last email that you should be sending per month. So now I still think you should be sending an email every single day. 10 emails here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We send 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I think I forgot to add. We have 9 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's one more that I forgot to tell before we get to this last one, the list cling. Pro tips. Pro tips is kind of like 3 hidden features email. Pro tips is like, you are the professional. You built this app. You know this app now like the back of your hand. Your customers don't know this. They are barely getting 5% of their potential when they're in this app using it. It's your job to get them to use it to their max potential. So that's what a pro tip is for. A pro tip can be, I think you should be sending a month in a 4-week span. You should be sending 12 of these pro tips of just telling people. Again, it's kind of like the 3 hidden features. You can still lead it with like, hey, did you know? Just be as educational as possible. It doesn't have to be a help article or a help tutorial. Just be like, hey, this is how you could point to a story. You could point to a different customer that's using it. Pro tips is a these are what the pros are doing. Or if you really want to get good at using this app or get the most out of this app, try doing this. Here it is. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Get as simple as possible. Include screenshots. You can include a video that leads to people to, hey guys, it's Jordan, the CEO of this software company. Let me show you real quick how to use this feature. You play a little 3-minute video, and that's how you pull people in. And that's how you're staying in the conversation. That's how you're staying in people's inbox. That's how you're staying top of mind with people. For people that don't have the software yet, that aren't customers, that are just leads, they read the pro tips, and they feel like they've learned something, and they're going to discover new things with you. And then at the end of that pro tips email, a link to buy your software. That should probably be the second link that I would add in there. Should always lead to buying your software. All of these emails should lead to buying your software, or that, like, some way, shape, or form. Last email, the list clean. You should be cleaning your list once a month. I probably just send this email once a month. But this is can be cold. It can be a little harsh. It can be a little like you kind of have to wake people up a little bit. But I would send this email out to everyone and say, hey, you don't find this valuable. You have not opened this email. You have not read any of these emails in the last 30 days. I'm going to remove you from the list. Or 2, there's the button to do it yourself and remove yourself from this list. Because if you're not here, if you're not engaged, if you're not reading these emails, don't want you reading these emails. I don't want you here. I don't want you taking up space on this list because it hurts your email deliverability. If you're sending emails and no one's opening it, or it's going to a dead email, it's going to hurt your email marketing. That's going to hurt your deliverability. Deliverability is the ability for people to actually get your email, have it in their inbox, have it in the primary folder, and have people see it when it comes in the door. If you're just sending it out to dead links, dead emails, people that just don't read or don't care or don't click, then you've got to get those people off the list. So yeah, you can be a little harsh. You can be a little abrupt. Be like, in your subject line, like, please unsubscribe. Like, hey, if you haven't read this email before, or this is the first time you've ever read this email, and you've been on this list for more than 30 days, I'm taking you off. Or it could be something like, hey, final warning, or last call, or last chance to opt into this list. Or, some kind of survey, like, do you want to be on this list? Yes or no? Or like, fill out the survey, like, yes. Like, hey, do you love this email? Click here. If you hate this email, click here. And if they click hate it, I don't like these emails, come off the list. Your list every single month. It's going to make people that actually want to read your emails to get those emails. So that's what we want. All right, guys, that is the end of the 10 emails to grow your SaaS. Again, the link down below, you can go get the email prompt. The email prompt has all 10 emails. Go through, I took everything that we just talked about here, all the best practices, all of the what to do, and then put it all together into a ChatGPT prompt for you guys to download and use. And then all you have to do is click it, copy paste once, and say, hey, I want to create all 10 of these emails in one swipe. You add all your company information, and it will go down the line and create all 10 of these emails. So just click the link down below, that email prompt. These 10 emails into your workflow every single month. It doesn't take that long to write these emails. It's our 50 to 300 words. You can write all of these emails. If you really put it all if you compress it all into, we're going to do it all in one batch. We're going to write all 10 of these emails. One session probably take you about 2 hours. That's how long it would take. Wouldn't take that long. If you use the AI prompt, you could probably cut that down from 2 hours down to about 30 minutes or 20 minutes. Let's add 10 minutes for proofreading, folks. That's it, guys. Enjoy. This is the 10 ways to grow your list, 10 emails to grow your SaaS, 10 emails that you should be sending every single month. We're live next Thursday at 8:30 p.m. right here on this link. See you guys next week. Thanks for watching.